told me once that's bad for focusing. You should be facing entrances, should know who walks in behind you. I have never minded the vulnerability of my own back toward the door, the trust it takes to simply sit here unguarded, given to the lack, watching given fully to the pain. The chair that faces away from the door is a small act of trust I made my own. No need to guard, no need to watch the entrance, just me and window light, just me alone with what I'm reading. Back turned to the hallway. The chair that faces away from the door has taught me something about being settled, about not needing to keep watch anymore. I hear the house behind me, hear the small sounds of it living, even when I don't turn to check on them. A kind of faith in just belonging here, a faith I won't question tonight in this specific chair that faces windows, faces evening light. Instead of doorways, instead of who might enter, I have made my choice and it feels right. The chair that faces away from the door is a small act of trust I made my own. No need to guard, no need to watch the entrance, just me and window light, just me alone with what I'm reading. Back turned to the hallway. The chair that faces away from the door has taught me something about being settled, about not needing to keep watch anymore. Some old advice says always face the room, always know your exits, always guard your back against whatever might come walking through the door. I've made my choosing hard against that logic, chosen instead the window, chosen the fading light over the watch. A small rebellion against constant vigilance, a quiet, settled, undefended notch, still facing the window, still turned away, still safe, still trusting the room behind me.
It skips now, the downstroke needs a little extra pressure to release what's left inside the barrel, running thin, and yet I haven't thrown it out, still keep the heft of it between my fingers, still prefer its weight to any of the newer ones, waiting in the cup beside it, still untried. I'm loyal to this dying pen, this one's reliable companion of 100 evenings. A pen that's almost out of ink still writes a little fainter, but it writes for now. I'll use it till it fully gives, and then I'll grieve it properly. I'll take a bow to everything it helped me put to paper. A pen that's almost out of ink is teaching me something about using what remains instead of rushing toward the new, the pleading of a nearly empty thing, still asking to be used. I press a little harder on the margins where I want the ink to hold, to leave a mark as dark as the ones I made in autumn when the pen was full and every line was stark against the page. Tonight the lines are lighter, a fading conversation with myself. across the months I've owned it, and I noticed something tender in a nearly empty shelf of ink still willing to be spent on me. A pen that's almost out of ink still writes a little fainter, but it writes for now. I'll use it till it fully gives, and then I'll grieve it properly. I'll take a bow to everything it helped me put to paper. A pen that's almost out of ink is teaching me something about using what remains, instead of rushing toward the new, the pleading of a nearly empty thing still asking to be used. There's a lesson in not rushing to replace the thing that served you faithfully for years, just because it's fading, just because it takes a little more from you appears a little less reliable than fresh. I'll use this pen until it truly stops, and only then will I retire it gently to the drawer where fading, faithful old things drop. Still writing, fainter now, still mine. A little longer, one more line before it's done. It happens every time I write for long. The smudge that gathers on the outer edge of my left palm. Brand new quick think a small and inescapable pledge of being left hidden in a righted hander, aware of handed way for people the other way. I've stopped minding the gray along my skin, of a working day. Ink on the side of my hand tonight is proof I've written more than just a line. A badge that only certain readers wear, a small and slightly awkward honest sign of effort. Ink on the side of my hand washes off eventually, but not before it's marked an evening well spent writing. A gray reminder of the thoughts I caught. I used to be embarrassed by it young in school when other hands stayed clean and mine did not. I've made my peace with it since then. A small tax paid for how I write each line, dragging leftward through the words I've made instead of pushing forward cleanly free of contact with the ink still drying. This is simply how the letters come from me. Ink on the side of my hand tonight is proof I've written more than just a line. A badge that only certain readers wear, a small and slightly awkward honest sign of effort. Ink on the side of my hand washes off eventually, but not before it's marked an evening well spent writing. A gray reminder of the thoughts I've caught. There's a whole quiet fellowship of us who carry evening ink along our skin, a small minority who very quietly told. Still gray, still mine, still evidence of writing. A good and honest evening.
There's a drawer beneath the desk I never saw. A layered archive of a decade's art. Would never stare at a key that opens nothing anymore. Little broken Mercedes in my desk of half forgotten reasons I once kept. I open it by accident, gazing for a pen as fine as rain, that never in patent sings its ways. The desk drawer I never empty holds a version of a life I've since moved past. Each object, small anchor to a moment I didn't know back then would be the last of something. The desk drawer I never empty isn't clutter. Not to me, it's proof that I existed fully in object. Invite the next peaceful, warm, endlessly lit for your room. A note in handwriting I recognize as mine, but younger, looser, less deliberate. A version of myself I don't disguise. Any distance from just difference, just years between the hand that wrote it and this one. I put it back exactly where I found it. The drawer will keep its order quietly until I'm done. The desk drawer I never empty holds a version of a life I've since moved past. Each object, a small anchor to a moment I didn't know back then would be the last of something. The desk drawer I never empty isn't clutter. Not to me, it's proof that I existed fully in each object, even the ones that serve no further use. Someone will empty it eventually when I'm not around to say why each thing stayed. They'll find no order to it, no clear reason, just a life's residue, unweighed, unswayed by any system but my own attachment to evidence. I'll leave the drawer as is, a small and private museum no one curates except the man who kept it, kept all this. Still in the drawer, still kept, still mine. Back to the pen I came for.
It happens every time I write for long. The smudge that gathers on the outer edge of my left palm, dragging through wet ink, a small and inescapable pledge of being left-handed in a right-handed world of paper made for people built the other way. I've stopped minding the gray along my skin, a quiet evidence of a working day. Ink on the side of my hand tonight is proof I've written more than just a line, a badge that only certain readers wear, a small and slightly awkward honest sign of effort. Ink on the side of my hand washes off eventually, but not before it's marked an evening well spent writing, a gray reminder of the thoughts I've caught. I used to be embarrassed by a young in school when other hands stayed clean and mine did not. I've made my peace with it since then, a small tax paid for how I write each line, dragging leftward through the words I've made instead of pushing forward cleanly free of contact with the ink still drying. This is simply how the letters come from me. Ink on the side of my hand tonight is proof I've written more than just a line, a badge that only certain readers wear, a small and slightly awkward honest sign of effort. Ink on the side of my hand washes off eventually, but not before it's marked an evening well spent writing, a gray reminder of the thoughts I've caught. There's a whole quiet fellowship of us who carry evening ink along our skin, a small minority who drag instead of push, who've learned to let the smudge begin and not resist it, not fight our own hand against the grain the world was built to hold. The ink will wash off in the morning, but tonight it's mine, a story quietly told. Still gray, still mine, still evidence of writing, a good and honest evening. It skips now on the downstroke, needs a little extra pressure to release what's left inside the barrel, running thin, and yet I haven't thrown it out, still keep the heft of it between, never static, designed for deep effort immersion across long sessions, nevertheless hemostatic, designed for deep effort immersion across long sessions. Steady you, It's almost out of ink, still writes the faithful fate. Rest now, I'll use art to take survey. I'll grieve it properly, I'll take a bow. Anything it helped me to paper. A pen that's almost out of ink is teaching me something about using what remains instead of rushing toward the new. The pleading of a nearly empty thing, still asking to be used. I press a little harder on the margins where I want the ink to hold, to leave a mark as dark as the ones I made in autumn when the pen was full and every line was stark against the page. Tonight the lines are lighter, a fading conversation with myself. Across the months I've owned it, and I noticed something tender in a nearly empty shelf of ink still willing to be spent on me. A pen that's almost out of ink still writes a little fainter, but it writes for now. I'll use it till it fully gives, and then I'll grieve it properly. I'll take a bow to everything it helped me put to pen. And that's almost out of ink is teaching me something about using what remains instead of rushing toward the new. The pleading of a nearly empty thing, still asking to be used. There's a lesson in not rushing to replace the thing that served you faithfully for years. Just because it's fading, just because it takes a little more from you appears a little less reliable than fresh. I'll use this pen until it truly stops, and only then will I retire it gently to the drawer where fading, fateful old things drop. Still writing fainter now, still mine. A little longer, one more line before it's done.
Never noticed it until tonight, how much this specific paper makes a sound different from the one 2 books ago. A thinner rustle, delicate, not loud, but present, filling in the quiet gaps between my breathing and the settling house. A small percussion only I can hear, a rhythm keeping time, quiet as a mouse. The sound of my own turning pages fills the study better than a radio could. A private metronome of my attention, marking every paragraph I've understood, enough to move past. The sound of turning pages is the only soundtrack that I need tonight. A rhythm built from nothing but my reading, a quiet music, honest, clear and right. A friend once said she missed the sound since switching to a screen, missed the small weight of paper moving under her own fingers. I understood completely, understood the freight of meaning carried in a simple gesture. The turning of a page is a small vote for patience, for the physical, the moment a screen can offer can't entirely quote. The sound of my own turning pages fills the study better than a radio could. A private metronome of my attention, marking every paragraph I've understood, enough to move past. The sound of turning pages is the only soundtrack that I need tonight. A rhythm built from nothing but my reading. A quiet music, honest, clear and right. Read in rooms with music, rooms with talking, rooms with every kind of background noise. But nothing quite compares to just this rustle, the study's simplest and most honest voice. A sound that only exists because I'm present, because I'm moving forward through the text. The sound of my own turning pages proves I'm here, I'm reading, moving to what's next. Still turning, still quiet, still the only sound I need. A gift from someone at a birthday years back, sitting low, still upon that stand. I give it a small push, some quiet evenings, just to watch the country slip my hand and blur a little, spinning through the decades since borders on it shifted, since some names have changed entirely. An outdated planet still turning here beside my desk, still claims a version of the world that's mostly gone. The globe on the shelf still spins when I ask it to. A quiet physical companion, dusty, small. The globe on the shelf still spins, still shows me countries that don't exist by that name anymore at all. And yet I love it for exactly that reason. A small preserved moment spinning kept. The globe on the shelf reminds me of a childhood where all of this felt larger than I'd guessed. I trace a finger, sometimes idle tracing a route I'll likely never get to take. A country I read once and can't quite place now. A small imagined evening wide awake to the whole enormous unexplored horizon. A reading habit that began with this globe spun by younger hands. A fascination with everywhere at once, with all of this. The globe on the shelf still spins when I ask it to. A quiet physical companion, dusty, small. The globe on the shelf still spins, still shows me countries that don't exist by that name anymore at all. And yet I love it for exactly that reason. A small preserved moment spinning kept. The globe on the shelf reminds me of a childhood where all of this felt larger than I'd guessed. There's a kind of loyalty in keeping something outdated, wrong by every modern map, because it holds a feeling more than data. A reminder, not a fact, a small and honest gap between the world is drawn and world is living. I'll never buy a newer one, I think. This outdated globe still does its only real job. Still makes me wonder, still makes my mind link to everywhere I haven't been yet. Still spinning, slowly stopping. Still outdated, still love. Still making me wonder.
Wrote it in that smarting months ago. Ship clashers trailing after. Just the mark itself, a small suspended curve of cure. We shouldn't harpen for resolution following behind it. I've passed this page a dozen times instead. And never busy, never static. Designed for deep effortless immersion across long sessions. Studying, reading, slow mornings, late nights. Each listen feels complete, yet